Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Alright, we've got to dive into some Phoenix Mercury talk, especially about DeWanna Bonner, because this is actually pretty interesting. So, let's break down what's going on and whether the league might step in. Now, we got the head coach speaking out. I was also going to mention the GM, but the main focus here is on the coach. And trust me, what he said about DeWanna Bonner and her journey to Phoenix is definitely worth paying attention to. This isn't just your typical player joins a new team story. The coach's comments give real insight into how the Mercury brought her in and how she's fitting into the team's bigger picture. And honestly, it raises a question. Will the league take notice, or will this just slip under the radar? We need to unpack this because what the coach said could have real implications for both DeWanna and Phoenix's future.
Luckily, the last two off seasons, we've tried to get DB to come back to Phoenix, and so we've been able to build a relationship a little bit. Unfortunately, she didn't pick us twice. Third time is a charm. I think AT helped in that a little bit. So yeah, I mean, just wanting her to end her run, however, you know, it's going to end, right? I mean, what a story for her to come back after playing here for 10 years. And you never know for sure how it's going to work, right? But we knew that we needed to add another veteran to our group for these situations. Obviously, we've talked about it. We've had our rookies step up, but like, I mean, it amazes me when I re-listen to the games and like all the things that she's done in the playoffs, the number of games, the threes, the points. I mean, it's she's one of the greatest playoff players ever, right? And so we would not be sitting here for a lot of reasons without her. Game 4 in Minnesota, hitting those 3 big threes. She couldn't hit a shot in the first 3 games, and the bright lights don't scare her.
Wow, did you hear all that? I mean, beyond the obvious praise, it's clear they've been chasing her hard. Third time's a charm, right? They even mentioned twice that Alyssa Thomas played a role in making it happen. Before we move on, I want to highlight this first comment. Shout out to Holly Cian, who wrote, "Sounds like Phoenix might need an investigation for unauthorized agreements or tampering. Players, coach, and the franchise should all face fines or some sort of restrictions." He posted this in reference to the WNBA's rules, which prohibit unauthorized agreements and tampering outside official negotiation periods. Violations can lead to fines of up to $1 million. While the Collective Bargaining Agreement, CBA, uses the term unauthorized agreements instead of tampering, the intent is the same, to prevent teams from engaging in early negotiations or offering incentives to players outside the legal process. For example, the Seattle Storm were fined in 2022 for announcing an early re-signing, setting a clear precedent. The Phoenix situation now highlights exactly why these rules exist, to protect fairness and maintain the league's integrity. With that precedent in mind, if any violations occurred here, whether by players, coaches, or the franchise, the consequences could be serious. Expect fines, restrictions, or other disciplinary action if the league confirms wrongdoing. And shout out as well to Crazy Drunk Cuck, who put it bluntly, they went after her but couldn't afford her, so they concocted a plan to have her arrive mid-season, on a vet minimum. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. And honestly, that's exactly how a lot of people are starting to view this situation. Let's break this down, because there's definitely more to it than meets the eye. The first story people ran with was, oh, she went to Indiana, got all the love and support, and everything was great. That was the feel-good version, all about being embraced and celebrated to make people sympathize with her. But the reality looks very different. When she got to Indiana, she couldn't perform the way everyone expected. She struggled to compete, lost her starting spot to Lexi Hull, got frustrated, and forced her way out. That's what makes DeWanna Bonner look bad in this situation. Now, that's one perspective, but another narrative is gaining traction, and it actually makes a lot more sense. Apologies for the voice, by the way. It's been a long day. Here's what seems to be going on, and what Nate was hinting at. They wanted her in Phoenix, and she wanted to go there too, but the money didn't line up at the time. Here's the WNBA nuance you need to understand. As the season progresses and games are played, money comes off the salary cap. That gives teams room to get creative with timing and finances. So, what they seemingly did was this. Okay, we can't bring her here right now, but let's have her sign with Indiana, play there for a bit, and pretend she's happy. We'll let her play to start the season. Then we'll create a reason for her to request a trade once we have the cap space and money ready for Phoenix. Then boom, she's in Phoenix. And honestly, if you listen to what DeWanna Bonner has said about why she was unhappy in Indiana versus why she's so happy in Phoenix, it's completely false. A total lie. Let me repeat that. A complete and total lie. She was fully embraced by Indiana fans, loved, supported, and celebrated. I've shown clips before. When Caitlin Clark made those free throws to reach her third all-time milestone, the crowd went wild. Fans were buying Bonner's jerseys, asking for autographs, and showing her nothing but love. It's not like she was ignored or mistreated. So here's the point I'm making. Cathy Engelbert and the WNBA need to open an investigation. This wouldn't be unprecedented. Remember when the Las Vegas Aces faced scrutiny over that Chamber of Commerce payment situation? Or when there were issues in New York? Even if not every case was fully proven, it's clear the league has dealt with tampering and cap manipulation before. Now think about this. The WNBA launched a full-scale investigation into Indiana Fever fans based on a completely unverified claim. No proof, just allegations. Remember Game 1 and the Angel Reese situation? Players like Alyssa Thomas publicly backed her, and yet there was no solid evidence. Still, the league went all in investigating a fan base over nothing. Compare that to this. We're talking about real emotional manipulation, tampering, and a coordinated plan to get a player to a specific team. Something far more serious than a fan allegedly saying something hurtful. Yet, there's no investigation, no accountability. This is the perfect moment for the league to finally act like a professional sports organization. Here's what needs to happen. WNBA, no matter what it takes, launch a full investigation into the Phoenix Mercury. Review communications. Talk to Alyssa Thomas. Pull phone records if necessary. Find out what conversations happened between her and DeWanna Bonner, and what role the Mercury played in all this. Because let's be real, once Bonner was signed, the Mercury weren't contacting her directly. They were working through intermediaries. And Alyssa Thomas appears to be a key link. And don't forget the emotional manipulation angle. Bonner supposedly stepped away for personal reasons, receiving overwhelming love and support from Indiana fans who genuinely care for her well-being. People praying for her, sending positive messages, hoping she was okay. And now, it looks like she used that sympathy as part of a larger scheme. That's not just unethical, it's disgusting. Emotional manipulation at its worst. Meanwhile, the Fever organization, their coaches, Stephanie White, the entire environment should have seen this coming, or at least considered the possibility. Anyone experienced in the league knows situations like this can happen. Yet here we are, fans being misled, narratives twisted, and the league doing nothing. So here's my call to action. Cathy Engelbert, WNBA leadership, the responsibility is on you. Investigate the Phoenix Mercury for tampering. Investigate the communications. Investigate the circumstances that led to Bonner's so-called unhappiness in Indiana. If you find proof, punish them. Period. That's how you protect integrity. That's how you earn respect in professional sports. And to all the fans watching, this is bigger than just one player, one team, or one controversy. This is about the credibility of the league. It's about fairness, transparency, and making sure the WNBA isn't seen as a place where manipulation goes unchecked. Launching this investigation would be a step toward proving the league takes itself seriously, that it's a professional organization, not one run by favoritism or hidden deals. To put in perspective, this isn't just drama for views or gossip for clicks. This is about accountability, integrity, and protecting both players and fans from emotional and financial exploitation. DeWanna Bonner may have played her hand, but now the league has the power to respond the right way. So, WNBA, Cathy Engelbert, this is your moment. Step up. Launch the investigation. Follow the facts wherever they lead. And if the Phoenix Mercury are guilty of tampering, enforce the consequences. Period. That's how you preserve integrity. That's how you earn respect in professional sports. And to everyone watching this video, I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you think about this entire situation, the manipulation, the league's response, and what action you believe the WNBA should take. And don't forget to smash that like button if you want more updates like this, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these breaking stories. Because trust me, the WNBA offseason just got a whole lot more interesting, and this story isn't going away anytime soon.